Hello again, everyone, to another episode of Blu-Ray News here on the channel. It's been a bit of a while since I did the last video, so I figured I'd jam-pack this episode with a ton of variety of different things to really get you charged up for the Blu-Ray news of 2018. And the first thing up is from Warner Archive here, following on from the success of their Batman Mask of the Phantasm Blu-ray they put out last summer. They are now releasing Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero, the late 90s direct-to-video feature, on March 27th, which is obviously very, very soon. They're going to include the original theatrical trailer, as much of a theatrical trailer as it might have been for a direct-to-video release. They're going to include a 4-part series of Mr. Freeze episodes from the Batman animated series, along with 2 little featurettes that I think are poured over from archival material, but should be a nice little thing to get in there, and hopefully maybe no one's really confirmed whether or not the episodes will be HD remastered, because they are working on remastering the entire Batman the Animated Series for a release later this year. No word on whether or not these are going to be those versions or just the standard definition versions that we've had for years and years and years. But on March 27th, you can go ahead and pre-order it now and get it really, really quick. So definitely check that out, and a lot of people very much praise that animated feature as one of the best ones that come out of Batman's legacy on home video and everything. A little bit of Kino Lorber news here, because they're doing 4K restorations of the Kolchak, Night Stalker, and Night Strangler TV movies. No date set for it, no features announced for it yet, but later on in 2018, those 4K remasters will be released on standard 1080p Blu-ray. Another little expansive type of thing here is that they're finally following on from their Good, the Bad, and the Ugly remaster from last year by giving you a 4K remaster of A Fistful of Dollars, starring Clint Eastwood, directed by Sergio Leone, and they're having a brand new audio commentary track from film historian Tim Lucas, along with a bunch of interviews from actress Marion Coach, and a bunch of other little things they're putting together here and there from the trailers from Hell from John Badham, and just a whole bunch of little things and archival material, all this type of stuff. May 22nd is when you can get a hands on this brand new 4K remastered version of A Fistful of Dollars. So if you already got the one for Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, I think this is probably a no-brainer to get that if you're very much pleased with what they did to restore that and refashion it back to a better color timing presentation than it had been before on HD. Definitely they're going to follow suit and do the same quality job they did on that release with this one as well. A little Jean-Claude Van Damme action to give you guys today, because the MVD Rewind Collection will be releasing on June 12th, a brand new collector's edition release of Lionheart, which is also known as Leon or AWOL in a couple different foreign territories. And a couple other territories have gotten their own versions put out with different featurettes and other little things, but this edition will include both the theatrical and extended cuts of the film, along with Lionheart, the Inside Story featurette, another Inside Story sort of documentary as well, with interviews from filmmakers, cast, crew, Van Damme himself. You got new Behind the Fights featurette, getting into that type of stuff. A couple other archival interviews and trailers and photo gallery stuff like that. So they're really putting a lot of effort into it, putting into a nice PCM lossless stereo audio track and 5.1 surround sound. So they're treating this very, very well. And it's one of those Van Damme films I have not yet to see, but seeing that this is getting a nice, beefy type of release here, it's definitely going to be on my list, but so far the pre-order price is up to near about $39.99. So we'll see how that kind of adjusts itself as release date gets closer. But I believe it is a US release and everything, so get on that if you're very much interested in a little bit more Jean-Claude Van Damme. But I got a little more Van Damme coming up here in just a moment here, because delving into some Shout Factory type of stuff, and they got a few little minor titles announced with no real featurettes or anything else coming up. But on May 22nd, Peter Weller and George P. Cosmatos' original endeavor together of Unknown Origin, these two guys who went on to eventually do Leviathan at the end of the 80s, did this film a couple years earlier than that, and this is a bit of a cult horror film of sorts with a giant rat and such, but it's Peter Weller. I'm sure it's going to be a pretty fun film and whatnot, and Cosmatos made some pretty fun films himself and everything with Rambo First Blood Part 2, Cobra, and definitely Leviathan and whatnot, so definitely, hopefully, there'll be an interesting thing to get your hands on. But a little bit of a peculiar title to have been announced from Shout Factory is that the Madonna William Dafoe erotic thriller from like 1993, I believe it was, Body of Evidence, is getting a June 12th Blu-ray release from Shout Factory, which is a bit of a unusual title for them to kind of grab out of nowhere, because it's not a pretty well-regarded film in any type of way. Got a lot of Razzie nominations, got panned on by critics and bombed at the box office, and hasn't really had much of a following over the years or whatnot, but it'll include both the theatrical and unrated versions of the film, but that's about all we really know at this point in time. We'll see how that kind of goes out for them sales-wise, and see if that leads to other erotic thrillers that I might be more interested in that have been kind of stuck in the VHS age of things and all that type of stuff. But getting back to a little more Van Damme, we've got Cyborg coming out on Shout Factory Collector's Edition Blu-ray on April 24th, which is a 4K remaster of the theatrical cut only. They're not including the director's cut of sorts, and they apparently had some undisclosed difficulties in getting this title secured for whatever reason. I'm not sure. It seems like it's been put out on Blu-ray plenty of times in different packages and different multi-packs and stuff like that, so apparently MGM has not had problems with it, but apparently something went along in the way that kind of had a hitch here and there to kind of delay the release time and time again. But they'll have a brand new audio commentary from the director of the film, Albert Pune, a new making of Cyborg featurette, another one that spotlights the effects of the film, a couple of little extended interviews from the Electric Boogaloo documentary about the history of Canon Films and such, which was pretty much their final official film release, was Cyborg. And so they're going to have a few little things on this thing that should appease a lot of the US fans of it. There's been much more extensive German release, I believe, from Platinum Cult Edition that had the extended Slinger cut of the film that was much more towards Pune's intended vision for the film, after producers and studio execs got their hands on it and recut it and rescored it and a whole bunch of different things. But a lot of that stuff was sourced from a videotape master, and maybe that was a little bit of something they could not get rights to as well. So who knows what happened along the way to get this secured. But they are putting it out April 24th, Blu-ray. You can get that pre-ordered now, and hopefully they'll have a little extra something for you. Maybe they do have special original artwork for this, so probably get another little poster if you're interested in pre-ordering directly from Scream Factory or Shout Factory, whatnot. A little bit of Ninja 3 The Domination is being re-released from Shout Factory because they put a much more of a scaled-down version years ago. This time they're giving a full collector's edition release treatment with a brand new 4K remaster of the film with interviews from actors and actresses and the producers and the production designers and the composers as well. So they're throwing a lot more into this than they did previously. And interesting that they are doing another a full 4K remaster. They previously done a version before this and whatnot, but they're really throwing their all into this very zany and insane type of movie that's part of this disconnected ninja trilogy where it's like Enter the Ninja, then it's like Revenge of the Ninja, then it was Ninja 3, The Domination, but none of them have any continuity between one another at all. But apparently Ninja 3 is pretty much the apex of insane Canon Films nonsense and whatnot that people absolutely love it. So if you're definitely interested in this film, if you've maybe gotten the previous release and want a little something more juicy for it, this will definitely be the one to kind of get your eyes on and grab it on June 12th when it gets released on Collector's Edition Blu-ray. And the last couple of things here is some exciting Ultra HD 4K remasters of Die Hard and The Matrix. Now there's no release details on the Die Hard release except that it's coming on May 15th from 20th Century Fox. But the Matrix one is going to have a brand new 4K remaster supervised by director of photography Bill Pope, and that remaster will be on the Ultra HD disc and the 1080p disc. So you can get this set and view it either way you want to, whether you have the Ultra HD set up yet or not. You can experience that on the 1080p disc as well. And they're porting over all the archival featurettes, and they're getting a brand new Dolby Atmos remixed soundtrack and everything. And so everything's going to be on this. If you had any of the versions before, this will have everything you've enjoyed off the previous releases of this, plus a brand new 4K remaster with high dynamic range and all that type of stuff. If you have the Ultra HD setup, I'm sure a lot of people will just absolutely flock to this like a lot of people did for like Blade Runner and various other things like that. They'll definitely be very much into this because obviously The Matrix is one of the most exciting and influential science fiction films of the last 25 years or whatnot. So definitely this is definitely a tentpole type of title for Warner Brothers on this type of format. So definitely I'll be very much interested. I think the Blu-ray we have already is a really exceptional disc. Way better than the old original DVD that was put out. So some people had a little problems with the changing color timing when they did the sort of more remastered version when the sequels came out and they put together the big box set on DVD and then the Blu-ray and whatnot. We'll see how things go with this remaster from director of photography Bill Pope and whatnot, but hopefully it'll blow everyone away and everyone will be very pleased with it. So definitely looking forward to all this type of stuff. So hit your comments below, see what you're really excited to see what's coming out really soon here on Blu-ray and everything. If you can pick up some of these smaller titles like the Kolchak releases or stuff like that, definitely see what you're interested in. Start up a discussion about what's going on pre-order, what's going on the wish list and everything. Definitely go for it, guys. So glad to be with you again. Be back soon with some other great content. So thanks for sticking around. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.